happy Friday to you, man. We made it through another week, or hey, we made it to another weekend. How you doing today, big dog?
Just get our morning coffee in the morning, right? Our little coffee thing. Trying to get the day going.
Little coffee fix.
That's all. So hopefully everybody likes the background. I was talking about how you right before we got on, you're like, oh, I'm really picky. I'm picking on myself, and you're always trying to fix everything. I don't think it's fixing it. It's just trying to make it better, right? It's like the beautiful thing about and here's a good example is if you have a house, or if you have a room, and you see things that you can fix, like furniture or things you can go out there and try to make it look nicer, look better. That's almost I don't know, that
same idea.
Yeah, you can I think the idea is that, like, for you have the tools to make it look better. You have the vision for that, and you keep seeing it, and you're like, okay, this looks better. Like the colors, like I love the background on the BSN Live. It looks so good Monday through Thursday, Friday. It has your little name on it. It's like a chalkboard, and maybe
it looks kind of cool, man. Exactly. I'll tell you, I don't like the right here, that corner.
Yeah.
How it's straight. I can't stand that stuff. You know what I mean? I was doing my YouTube banner. That's what we were talking about, spurred the conversation. There was something that just didn't look exactly right, in my opinion, and I went back 15 times this morning changing it, because once you upload it to YouTube, you got to see how it adjusts it. And I like to take pride in how things work. But you know what I have realized, though, in doing this, it's okay to put something up that's not perfect. Done is better than perfect. So yes, if I put something up, hey, this banner, even though it's not 100% what I think, it looks fantastic and great, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But can I improve it? One of these days when I'm in my editor and I look up that banner and I can just edit it real quick, I probably will, and change it and send it to Ben another one.
Yeah, it looks great. Right? Again, I think, but here's the thing. I think you already got this down already. As we go back, I think the theme of this week was like mastering your message, right? We talked about mastering your message, and it's the same way with myself. The hardest thing for me is to go back on my lives, or watch the YouTubes, or watch our lives, and I sit back and I'm like, oh man, I see my facial expressions, and then I see my the little stutters, or the ums, or I'm like, wow, I need to really practice that. I really need to get better at that.
I agree with you. I do the editing when I'm putting them together and I'm listening to it. I'm like, Matty, are you kidding me?
And that's just me. I did it again. So I'm going to practice not to try to say or in those little. Just take a deep breath. It's going back and repracticing, right? And that's kind of the message that we're trying to share everybody here, that we're not like professionals. I didn't go to a professional voice coach, or maybe someday I will. That'd probably be something I'll invest in the future. Be like, hey, if this keeps going, maybe I will go and visit someone and give me a little tutoring, a little coaching on voice coaching, and going, okay, these are the little techniques. And be like, there's actually here in Las Vegas. I was Googling it. I was researching one, and there's actually one that they do voice acting. And I don't know about voice. I'm sure there's voice broadcasting that can teach you. And some people have a natural gift. Like, I think you have a great voice. You do really well with it. It's just I like I said, I don't think I have that. That it's just a matter of practicing it and finding your voice. And some people say, yeah, you don't have to do it. You just keep on doing it and doing it. So, but I think the best is to really look at yourself, and really, that's the hardest, right?
Critique yourself. When you're going through, like I do the video and the editing. That's when I'm really critiquing myself, because I'm trying to find those breaks in the conversation so I can put them together, shaving out the parts that we don't want to listen to, those ums and uhs and stutters, or maybe an effort to actually find the right way to phrase what you want to say. We are on live. We are stretching ourselves not to do a recorded show. See, I'm pausing. You can see that I'm making an effort to not say And this is what we need to do to practice. Others are ahead of us, so they've mastered this part where they're able to deliver their message clearly and concisely. I did a radio show a couple of years ago. It was about internet marketing. When I was doing SEO, I was doing what was it? Dreamweaver was the editor at the time. So any of you people that were doing it years ago, you'll remember Dreamweaver. I was on that show and we were talking, and there was a guy that was coming in and out of the studio. Anyway, he was the next guy that was coming on. So at our breaks, he was setting up for his show. I heard him practicing. I heard his voice, and his voice was crisp. It was clear. It was concise. His tonality was perfect. I was talking to one of the engineers. He goes, "Yeah, that guy's just he's one of the famous voiceovers for tons of commercials all over." And he's like, "Yeah, that guy's just a monster. He's in here practicing just over and over, hours and hours a day." You know, we talk every day, but this guy is practicing the art of the voice, the art of speech, you know, taking his craft and elevating it. And I was really impressed. That was years ago. I just remembered that as you were talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's practicing. It's like in sales, when I'm at work and I'm working with clients, and I always say clients. The reason being is because these are people that have developed, and I've had built those relationships and those communications. Customers for me are just people that I meet one time and then I buy something. So when I say clients, these are people that I'm consistently working with. I'm comfortable. They understand me. We understand each other's language. So that's different, right? We've built those relations. We have that relationship. So they know me. They know that I can joke around a little bit. We jump off topic, kind of like what you do. You and I do. We jump off topic. Okay, let's go back.
Right.
Business. But we're having fun, and that's the fun of it. But then definitely when you're into your first your introduction, when you first meet someone, that definitely has to be your first impression, right? You have to go out there and practice that. That's very, very important. And then the smile, the hello, your who you tell people who you are, how long you've been doing this, how you can give them great service, how, you know, and how you're better than everybody else, and how you're not, I wouldn't say better than everybody else, but how you're different, and how, and this is what I always tell people. I go, and I'll be honest with them. I say, hey, you know, I'll be honest with you. I don't know all the answers, but I'm that kind of person that's willing to go out and find those answers for you and research. And I know the people from the top. So here's one thing I always, if there's questions that you cannot answer, you got to find the people that know the answers and make relationships with those people that have the answers. It's very, very important. Because sometimes the reply back when you're waiting for something, if it takes 24, some people will even say, "Oh, I'll just wait a week," and that's too long. You need to have someone give you a good answer quickly.
Well, in this day and age, a week is might as well be never.
Because,
because somebody can answer that question immediately if you can. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with not being able to know an answer right off the cuff. You know, I was taking a new listing the other day, the one I talked about, I think it was at Photos yesterday, whatever. And I was talking to another agent, letting her know, hey, this is what's going on. And we're talking about it. And she asked me, you know, some of the specs. It's like, you know, I just haven't committed all the specs to memory yet, but let me send them to you.
sure.
You know, that's just a quick example. But do those things. You're going to gain more respect than trying to BS somebody, trying to stall them out, or trying to make some excuse that just doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, be honest. Say, hey, I don't really know that answer. You know, it's a great question, but I need to know that answer too. Let me find that out.
And I always tell people, the one thing I tell people is, I don't know, but all I know is you maximize your information, and you say, but if you need more information, I'll get, and that's the opportunity to follow up and get their phone number, get their information, get their email, everything. And that way you can email it to them, you can text it to them, you can call them and give them more information. And that's a great way to build a sale up. And those are my best. I'm from those situations. You find out how the client likes to communicate. If it's phone call, if it's email, if it's texting. I always prefer text and phone call. The reason being is because there's certain things, there's certain information nuggets that you can give them through text, but when it comes to actually getting the credit card number, or just making sure, confirming everything, making sure all those little small details, you got to call them. You got to have those conversations. And since we're doing those on YouTube, I can go in a little bit more detail of like what's happening with me right now. Is that the company I work for right now, they're giving me a selling app, and it's just like, because of the whole COVID shutdown, they're not pushing us, but they're giving us this tool to use to sell through our clients. But there's so many issues going on with the process, right? And to put my clients through that situation, because I'm getting I'm getting communications from my clients saying, hey, I want to buy this, I want to get this, and I can try to work it, but every day I'm getting 3 or 4 emails. Oh, we can't do orders, or you can only do orders from 3 to 5, or because of the riots, there's nothing, there's no one process, there's no process, there's no one there working on it, because so how I would love to serve my clients right now, but here's the thing: I can't put them through a haggle, right? It's kind of like, and then they were talking about a couple $1,000s in spend, and imagine, and I can't take the credit card, or I can't look at the item, I can't visually see. It's all like, it's all a wish. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give it to me, and it's all like blind trust. And these people will give me the blind trust. However, if something doesn't go right, they're going to be.
But you know what? Your brand has earned that reputation as well.
Sure.
So when this is purely just conversation in my opinion, but I would imagine that those people that are buying, knowing that this is something that you're trying to overcome the challenge of the COVID in the event, I think that's not going to be as big a challenge for your clientele. You know what I mean? Because they know the brand, they know what to expect, and you have those relationships.
Exactly. Yeah, they understand. It's just, and they're willing to wait. That's the beautiful thing. They're willing to wait. So I gave them a personal message, and I'll sit and make a call or two, and just talk to them and ask them how's life going, and say, hey, and I'll be honest with them. I'll say, hey, this is what's going on. I'd really love to, and 90% of the times the things that they want is not available. So that's kind of the game that we play too. So
do you have a time when you're going to start coming a little bit more online and being more in the store? Has that been established yet?
We will be getting back on the 15th. We'll be coming back, and we were planning to come back Thursday, actually yesterday, but because of the whole riots and everything like that, they decided to push it through. They push it to the 15th. And then if you look at New York, I actually was researching New York right now. New York is completely shut down. So that's where all our main office is at, and everything is there's nothing going on. So everyone's just trying to stay home and be safe. And of course, those are the people that are that's HR, that's our payroll, people that are processing. Processing them. So they, everything gets delayed back. And we're talking about Chicago. So it's going to be a different energy. I'm definitely going to share with everyone when I get back what our experience is, because I'm at the Bellagio. So we'll go ahead and I'll be sharing that with people, like, okay, what's going on? I've already seen some videos of the Bellagio opening up, and people, but how's business going to run, right? How are we going to, I know there'll be
flowers already over there at the Bellagio and everything.
Yeah, they're going to be mandating people wearing masks coming into the stores. I know that, very, very strict. It's going to be, and then touching product, going out there and touching things. People can't just go out and touch things like they used to. It's a whole different world out there, man. It's crazy.
I just, this happened once, and I mean, it does happen throughout history. We've had smallpox, we've had other challenges, but I think our world on such a grand scale now is having us treated so much differently. I can't see us 5 years down the line wearing masks and not being able to touch things. There's got to be forward progress with the organizations that make these chemicals and drugs to prevent these, or what do they call the shots?
Vaccine.
Yeah, vaccine.
Yeah, we'll see.
Gotta catch up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And anyone that's listening on the podcast, I work for a high-end luxury. I'm in high-end luxury retail sales. That's my main thing. I've been doing this. I've been in retail sales since I was how many? Well, I started when I was a kid. Obviously, when I was a kid in sales, like working at a drugstore, but always been in retail my whole life. But there was a pivot when I started to realize I can make good money, good income, and grow. When I moved to Las Vegas, there was a big opportunity. So I can't really really push the name of the brand just because of this company. We signed. We signed forms that say we can't go out and promote ourselves on social media. So that's not the idea. And here's the thing: I tell people also too, I don't want to go out and use that as a. And I've talked to you about this personally, right? I don't want to go out and use that as a
as the leader, as the why you're trying to get
yeah,
the attraction. No,
exactly. I wanted to prove to myself that I can go out and do this without saying I work for this company, this is who I am, or put it on my profile and try to get all these people. And that's not really the message that I'm trying to send to people. That's not the message. And eventually when things change, and if things do change, maybe I'll find a way to angle that in. So it's not so, that's not my main message, right? Because I don't want, here's the thing, I'm already dealing with super high-end rich people. Like my goal is to be the super high-end rich people. So I would love to deal with those people more in a different way. But when we created Buy Sell Network, it was about helping people elevate themselves from bottom, right? People trying to come in and going, okay, someone like myself that really had a lot of challenges, and I know a lot of people go into sales to try to make money, to make an income, or how to better themselves in certain ways. And there is a way to do it. It's just, it's not easy, right? I want to share people with that story. It's not easy, but it's worth it if you do it right, right?
there's a lot of diligence. I mean, I personally believe no matter what you do, there's a lot of work. When I was in the concrete field, or the concrete business, that was a lot of work. I think anything that's worthwhile is going to be a lot of work.
No, and like I said, I'll tell you, I got into real estate myself too, and that was a lot. I go, wow, that's a whole different, it's a whole different monster, a whole different animal than what I was used to, right? Because I go, because a lot of people, and here's the thing, a lot of people, and I've been in retail many years, a lot of people from retail jump into real estate, and they think they can go in and do that, and it doesn't work that way. It's a different ball game, and it is a different ball game. And I don't know. I like, for me, what I like about the retail or where I'm at right now is the environment. I love the environment, and I think with yourself is that you are in control of the environment, or the environment. I wouldn't even say that.
The environment.
Yeah, the environment comes to you, right? You have to control it. But at the same time too, like things can change very quickly with different clients, seeing different homes. One day you're
partners.
Yeah. And I remember there's a couple things where the trust factor is building the trust in the real estate as a realtor is one of the hardest things you could do, because I remember it wasn't easy building trust.
There's 18,000 of us, man. I mean, it's hard to differentiate yourself. The transaction's the transaction. You have experience, you have brokers, you have partners that help you do that. So the people that are doing business, I mean, I don't want to say anything that people that new can't do a transaction, but it's more that experience and that confidence to let people know that you're out there to do it. And then for people that, like you said, trust you as a real estate agent. Everybody knows an agent. Everybody's got an aunt, uncle, sister's boyfriend, second cousin's kid, that can sell their house. But is that the right person to sell your home? I mean, somebody like me, I like to concentrate on sellers with life events or challenge with construction, dilapidated homes where they, deferred maintenance and they need some help with construction. That's where I really excel as a real estate agent, with my construction knowledge. My knowledge of the court system, guardianship, probate, and all that, for life events, divorce, all those things. So that's really where I'm at. Some people aren't well versed in those kinds of transactions, and not that the transaction's different, the emotions are different, the circumstances are different, the personalities are different, the dynamics are significantly different. Like you said a moment ago, controlling the situation. When you're in a retail store, you've got a couple of people there that are coming. You have one main buyer, but you got three people chirping in saying, "Hey, that's too expensive," or "This is ugly," that or "ugly. Why are you doing this?" Or "Hey, we got to go get ice cream. We got to go." And then you, as an agent, an agent for that sale, has to control that same type of moving target.
Yeah.
With real estate, the difference is it's just such a long cycle.
Yeah, it's a long cycle. And the information, I think also too, it's about when you're new, who's going to help you, right? You have your mortgage broker, or you have your broker, but like, who's going to really guide you? No one's helping you like through a client interaction, or who can you talk to about things, or there's people there, but I mean, and I think there is a good
self-serving people too. You know what I mean? Like when I first got in, I was doing part-time sales, fooling myself I could do real estate part-time. If that's you and you can do it, I couldn't do it. I was fooling myself.
Yeah.
But I was there, and what I did was, for my first couple of transactions, that person stood in with me, made sure my contract was right, made sure I did a couple other things, made sure I ran the transaction right, basically. And they did that, and then that's it. They're doing that for a fee. You know what I mean? Nothing is for free. And, you got to make sure that person is leading you down the right way, that they know the right things that should be done. They're doing the right legalities. They're protecting the client in the right way. That's one thing I delved deep into in my mind, was the people that were in my past that I really have a lot of mistrust for. You know what I mean? As people, they were people that I learned some things from in the REO, the bank-owned part of the business. Are all those things true? Are all those the way they should be? Are all those the best way to handle things? You know what I mean? Or are they the more underhanded, shady ways to handle things, or more conflicting ways to handle things? There's, all those things kind of came into my question. In the last couple of years, I've really, taken a deep dive in understanding what my thought process was and what other possibilities they may be to shape my mind better, and understand that there are more than one ways to skin a cat, and maybe the information I was given wasn't right. So again, opening my mind to different options, opportunities, and possibilities.
Yeah, that's good. Was going to say, and then you're going now to Keller Williams, right? You just jumped over.
My license, hopefully today.
Yeah, and then and here's one thing I maybe we can educate some people on this, is the team aspect of it, because I know there's people within offices that have teams. So are you going to be in a team, or are you going to be creating a team, or are you by yourself as a realtor, or what's your how do you work that? Because that's a good, I have a little insight on the office things.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Right now, I'm a solo agent. I've been a solo agent for years. When I first started in real estate, then I was a solo agent. I went to the REO team where I was part of the team. Other than that, I've always been a solo agent. I think, sorry about that. I think that's one of the things I'm missing, is I like that team aspect, but I am going there as a solo agent to see what other agents are out there, see if my personality, my skill sets, my abilities match up with somebody. I'd love to find that cohesive unit. I didn't get into real estate to do it alone. When I first started, I didn't really know what to expect, but then when I went to the team, that's what I'm about. I'm a construction guy. I always had a team. I had my installers, I had the owner, I had the other business. It was just all a team. I could always draw on those other people. I wasn't alone. In real estate, if you're a solo agent, it's very alone. You're doing everything alone. You may have an assistant or whatever, but all that pressure is on you. And that's the part I think I'm struggling with. I want to have somebody to partner with.
Sure.
So I think that's really where my evolution is going to go. Whether I build the team myself, bring on a partner or a licensed assistant or somebody to help me grow the business the way I want to. But that's really the reason I chose Keller Williams. They're a business about building real estate businesses. Um, the Red Book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. Uh, that is a monumental book for our agents in the industry, and just the models and what he teaches. It's more about business, and I understand functionally relationships. I connect really easily to people. I can run a transaction. I understand due diligence, HOA packages, inspections, appraisals, VA, FHA. I understand all these things. I understand the proper way to position my client for the best advantage. But what I was failing to understand and what wasn't given to me, I think, was the business side of it. Do these steps to put these systems in order so you can move to the next step to build that business.
Sure.
I was always giving, not by any fault, and I don't, and this isn't a blame thing, and it's not, that's not as it was intended because it's all on me. I was, seeking out people that were giving me pieces, but I'd have like a puzzle board on a table, and something wasn't missing. It wasn't kind of coming together for me. You know what I mean? Just wasn't just fitting in there nicely. And that's why I wanted to find a company. Either it was a team that already had the systems in place wherever they were, and that worked out, or to Keller Williams. There was another brokerage that I had in mind that I was battling back and forth with. But I really chose Keller because the building of the business, structurally building the business. And it's a huge organization, a lot of years, 30 years behind us, 30 plus years, the data, the experience, all those things now I get to harness. So all the things I have done and done well with my clients, I'm now able to elevate even to a higher level and serve more people.
Yeah, I think that's when you go to a recognized name, the branding, people are going to come to that more, and you're going to meet more people, and you're going to have more experiences, more shots at dealing with things, and
Right.
maybe feel something different. But here's the thing: I think that's what's nice about that too, is that there's going to be a little bit more support, right? There's going to be someone there with more experience with this particular situation, or there's people within the organization that have friends or a relationship with someone going, yeah, my friend's been done that before. Let me ask him a question, because he just recently went through that, right? Like, oh yeah, so
100%. Yeah, they have an agent-led council, agent leadership council there that I look forward to once I establish myself there, being on there. Because you know me, I'm all about taking. I love to take information. I love all that stuff. But the other thing about me is I love to give more than I take. So as I'm going to start getting into this business, I want to take a lot, but yeah, I want to give. That agent leadership council is cool. There's a lot of other things. My broker, her number is broker 6. My number is 175483. There's a lot of agents out there. Her number is number 6. So
yeah.
that just tells you the amount of experience that this lady has. There's probably not a transaction that can go down that she hasn't had a little bit of insight, knowledge, or understanding of how to navigate through, whether it's a short sale, maybe there's a Liz pendants on a property, maybe you're having a difficult seller ready to pull the plug at the last minute. I mean, whatever the case. And I got a chance to talk to her the other day, and she's a teacher. She's got that teacher heart.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what I mean? Same idea. We want to give back. And that I really enjoyed too. That was really cool when I talked to her. It wasn't, it was more of, hey, you're my children. I look at you as a child. I mean, not she's an older lady, older than me. And I respected that 100%. She's like, you're like my children.
Yeah.
I'm here to protect you. And you know what, when you do things wrong, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to show you what you did wrong so you understand it and how you could have done it better. And I'm here to mitigate the results of whatever was wrong. And man, that conversation was really cool. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
That's great, because what that does, that sets the culture, right? That sets the tone when you have people like that in the organization, in your office. When you go in there and you're you need to check something out or whatever you need to do, there's going to be it's a good feeling to walk into an office like that. And that energy, that presentation it's going to be noticeable when you work with your clients, when you're talking to people, when you're out presenting yourself. You're going to be proud of like what you're doing, and you're more confident, right? You're just more confident.
You know what? Absolutely. I think I know that was one of the things that caused me some problems that we were talking about on WTF Wednesday the other day. But that is one of the things that was a huge problem for me, was in my mindset, having that confidence. You know, we talked about a little bit a moment ago about not knowing if I was taught or shown the right pass, or were they maybe some shady paths, or maybe there was a clearer path over here, or maybe there was an easier path over here, but was the path shown that I was shown and taught in the best way? And after the last few years and all the transactions that I've done, thank you everybody that has worked with me, has really shown me that I do know I know real estate, I know how to protect clients, I know how to do the transaction. So that confidence came right over me and really took over. And, you know, hey, if you're not confident in what you're doing, how can you sit on a camera and pontificate, I love that word, to people about things if you don't have that confidence? So
I think that really broke down, because I did real estate too. I got into real estate, and I think, I won't go into the story now, but I think having this conversation with you made me really realize why I stepped out of real estate, why I didn't do it. And it wasn't so much, I think it was the confidence aspect of it, but we'll go into that's a different story, because and I'll just give you the ending of it. There was a lot of changes. This is when the real estate, right before the crash was happening, and everyone was buying houses. There was a lot of people, and my confidence with dealing with people wasn't with the customers or the clients or any of that. That was great for me. It was my confidence in the teams or the people that are around me started coming into the company that were becoming mortgage brokers or other realtors, or the guy that now, because I started noticing people started leaving the office, right? I started people like the people I was working with, great people. I'm like, why are these people leaving the office? And then all of a sudden, my confidence in these new people that came in, I just didn't feel like these were the right kind of people that were like, I just knew something wasn't right. And I knew when it wasn't right. And I'll go back to, I don't know if you ever saw this. There was this guy, I'm not dropping any names, but he was to be like, I'll sell your house in 30 days or whatever, or I'll pay you or something like that.
Or I'll buy it or whatever, yeah.
Or whatever. And he was really just kind of, and I said, how do you pay the customers? Oh, I just dropped their commission, or I dropped whatever, something crazy like that.
It's just a little,
it's not like, I go, okay, like that doesn't seem right. Like for me, that doesn't seem right. Like
that's what it is, man. I mean, you know, you see these discount guys coming in, the 1% people. I mean, there's homes that don't take a lot of marketing, that just take a list, not a sell. You know what I mean? You know, when you see, I'll list your home for 1%, it doesn't say I'll sell your home for 1%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they play on people's not understanding of how real estate works. And the other thing is, you know, how much effort is that person putting into the sale of your home if they're not making any money off it? You know what I mean? I am a full service agent. My client just left yesterday to go to Chicago. He's done. There is not a thing that he has to worry about in this transaction. The items that were left over in the home, the inspections, the appraisals, the marketing, the everything. He's got a phone call to make to me, and I handle everything. I do get paid for that. That's how I support my family. That's how I sell real estate. That's how I continue to serve my community. You know what I mean? But he can expect that high level of service. You know, I haven't figured out the right model to discount my level of service to be able to accept that discounted level of price, because I have so many things I have to pay for. My association fees, my business license, insurance, marketing, you know, all these things cost money. You know what I mean? We're still business owners. But that's why I enjoy working with those people that, hey, you understand that, it takes, effort to sell a home. I'm not here to list your home. I'm here to sell your home. When I take your listing, I'm not ready for it to, I'm not going to let it expire. I'm going to work my butt off to get as much eyeballs on this to sell it as possible. That's my job.
No, absolutely. Excuse me. No. And we have a friend, we when we bought our home, this one that we're living in right now, she's a full, I understand what you're saying about full service, man. It's nice to have someone to talk to that calls you, that will bring the paper to you, that will say, hey, let's meet up for this. Let's have a conversation on what's on this and this, rather than trying to get to a secretary or an office, or then I'll get back. I grant people have schedules and times. I get that. But to have someone to have confidence in somebody, and at the end of the transaction, everything is good, everything's worked out, everything is like, man, it's a night and day. And trust me, we've heard I've heard the nightmare stories of people saying, oh, there's no service, or this guy's, that I can't ever get out of this guy, or I got to go to the office and drive like across town to get this paper in before like 5 o'clock today. I've seen those people, right? And they're like, they can't find a fax machine. So it's a lot, when you have someone that really is there to service the client and going, okay, Mrs. Jones, I'm here to get to you right here and there. I'm where are you at right now? Oh, I'm here. I'm in the middle of soccer. At a soccer game. I'm in a soccer game in Boulder City. I'm like, you're like, all right, Miss Jones, I'll be there in about. Are you gonna be there? I'll be there in an hour, Miss Jones. I just need to get your signature on this because I know you're busy and I want to take care of you, right? And you're like, you'll do that. You're willing to do that.
Absolutely. That's just a part of the result of my business, and unfortunately it affects my wife and my family sometimes, but things have to happen. A lot of these discount guys, it's up to you when you sell your home. These things happen. They're going to look at you and say, hey, handle it. Tough shit. Good for you. Good luck. Yeah. Hey, I listed the home. I put it on the MLS. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And you know what? That's fine. A lot of people like the hands-on. There's auto zones of the world, but there's also service centers for people that don't want to repair it themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. People, for me, my time is important. I like to learn certain things, but here's the thing: if you're going to do it with real estate, you got to have a professional. I know that you got to have someone help you with that, especially your home. That's like your biggest asset, right? I mean, that's one of your biggest assets.
100%. Man, I see all these ads these days. Everybody out there and their mother is saying, hey, I'll come and buy your house. I'll come and buy your house. Don't talk to a realtor. No realtor fees. Why don't they want you to talk to a realtor? Realtors, there's real estate agents and realtors. Realtors are bound by a code of ethics. I am going to tell you all the options you can to sell your home. If there's another option, I'm going to tell you. But these other, these fast cash and the quick close and these discount guys and all these people, they just want to get in there. They don't want to talk to you to talk to a real estate agent. They're going to cut you down. They're going to give you the amount of information you need to lead you down a path to get them the most money in their pocket, not yours. You know what I mean? And that's what a real estate agent. I'm here to get you the most money. I'm not here to discount. I'm here to I don't want to discount my fees. I want to get paid when I get paid, but I want to make you all the money you deserve at the same time. You pay a little bit of money. What money are you leaving on the table? I know I sold a home earlier this year. They were in contract for $291,000. The contract fell through. I became the real estate agent. I listed it at 300. She was super happy at that and worried that I overpriced it. I sold it at 310. Was she happy paying me my 6%? She was super happy paying me my percentage. You know what I mean? So that's really what it's about. Differentiating my message, that what I do differently than others.
Yeah, absolutely. And what does that do? You just let the neighbors are happy. You can go out there and talk to the neighbors, tell them the story, say, hey, you know what? Just letting you know, this house could have sold. This could have dropped the property of the neighborhood.
I just increased it.
Yeah, right? You just increased. You're actually you just created more value in everyone in the neighborhood, because people appreciate that. If you told me that, let's say, and I was about to sell my home, I said, this guy just sold the home, he's going to keep the value. He's going to make sure. I'm like, this is probably the right guy I need to have in mind because he understands the neighborhood, right? He
That's
understands.
it, totally. And you know, I missed an opportunity. I should have sent the whole community a letter and really done that. God, I'm just so busy doing everything else. It's hard to do them all. But you know,
We have conversations. That's how we talk. That's what we.
yeah, totally. I got a letter from an agent. She sold a house in my subdivision, and she sent it. I was like, God, this is a great letter. I kept it because I want to do something similar. But
Sure.
man, handwrite a letter, address them, all of that. That's a lot of effort, and doing all the other things I'm doing. God, I haven't even finished editing my other shows to put on for BSN. I mean, but you know what? It's a blast, and it's a lot of fun. And you know, that's like you said, that's why we do this, because I forgot to do that. That's a missed opportunity.
Go back and do a live video and do a live video. You can go back and, you know, what'd be great if you could do is do a video, walk in the neighborhood, talk about the story, and then do you can do
End up in front of the house.
Do a Facebook ad, and then specifically do that ad in that zip code, and then just be like, hey, my name is Matt. I'm gonna tell you guys a story, you know, of this neighborhood, and then this is what happened. And if you guys, and just do it specific, just run it from, just test it out, it'd be fun to have, you know, and then be a great story to have later on, and you can use it as content later on, and you can always maybe retarget that ad in the future somewhere, you know.
I did something similar.
Yeah.
Not as pointed at that. Maybe that's why it wasn't as successful, and it was a lot longer. I think maybe if I do a shorter one, telling the story a little bit more pointed with that. But I did one for a home I helped for sale by owner, and it was a family member, so I just made the connection and made it all work and stayed out of it. But you know, I basically negotiated the home, and it appraised at 290. We got the home at 275.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know how to, not that I manipulated anything in any way, but I really showed them everything that needed to be done, and they wanted a quick sale. They didn't have the real estate commissions, you know what I mean? So it really worked out to where I could show them how they could all save money, how they could get the most for the property, how my family member could actually get in for a decent price and get the equity, and it all worked out. There's ways to do that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and it takes experience, and we'll probably end it. I'm gonna probably end it at this. I'm gonna tell you this little short story how experience helps you. Is we talk about Facebook Marketplace, and Facebook Marketplace has its own little animal. And then it's been a while since I've sold stuff on there or I bought stuff, but I was trying to sell a little kid table. My wife said, just get rid of it. I just don't want it in the house. I'm like, okay. So I posted it for $15. I got so many messages on that, right? I'm like, oh man, it's these people, right? So anyways, I deleted it. I accidentally deleted the post because I was like, but I go, you know what? I'm going to repost it for $20. Got the same amount of traction. Found a lady, she really nice lady. She sent me, so I'm going to come, I'll come pick it up. I'll come pick it up tomorrow. I said, no problem. And she bought it. Then I said, hey, and I asked her some questions. I said, hey, she's like, oh, this is for my little daughters. You know, obviously, you know, when kids are growing up, you don't want to spend a lot of money on these kind of stuff because these kids grow out of it so fast. This table, now it's just it's a table to put junk on there, right? It's like, you know. So then we have these toy playhouses in the back. I said, oh, you know what? I showed her. I said, hey, I have this. I bought these. I have these two they're pretty pricey, but those are the big. They're toy houses, right? And then in my backyard, my little one's growing up. I said, hey, maybe I can call you, or I can send you a message when my little one grows out of these. She's not gonna want this anymore. She's like, oh, how much it'd be? No, I'll think about it. I said, oh, take some pictures of him, whatever. She talked to her husband, and then she texted me that same night. She goes, hey, if you want to sell him now. And I asked my wife, I go, should we just get rid of it? Because it's, you know, she's like, yeah. I'm like, she's such a nice lady. We're not trying to make money. I said, oh, if you want to take this and this and this. And I sold her some more stuff to get rid of. Right. I didn't even have to post it on Marketplace. I sent her some pictures of the stuff. And it was like $25. Really, really cheap, man. She was such a nice person. Here's the thing. She was such a nice person. And I understood her situation. And I understood. And it's not the fact that it's nice to have someone, it's nice to give it to someone that's going to use it. And she took it. She came back the next day, come back and picked it up. So anyways, that whole transaction, I think we made like $50, which is whatever. It's fine. Not a big deal. Point is that I didn't have enough experience on the Facebook Marketplace again. I should have just posted it at a little bit higher price, right? And not underestimated the pricing, because people still want to buy it. People will still buy it at the higher price. And
Sure.
from that, I made another transaction and doubled it up, right? And less headache for me and trying to deal with, because here's the thing, I don't want crazy people coming to my house and dealing with that and the phone calls and the message.
I don't do it either, man.
I don't have time for that.
I got a router here. I got one of those night hot routers here, man, and I want to put it up on there. I'm like, man, I really don't want to mess with this. I'd rather just give it away than have to mess with it, putting the post on there. Da, 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 man.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I actually have to do some of that marketplace stuff here shortly. I put a couple things on recently for my aunt's home, some furniture and stuff like that. So I'm not involved in that. My mom is, so I don't know how well it's working. I haven't tested it. I haven't done my share of marketplace.
Yeah, it's taken over Craigslist, OfferUp, all those. And here's the thing, and I'm gonna always tell. And I went back. I was teaching people, because I was using Facebook Marketplace to understand that animal, because here's the thing, I noticed people were trying to sell their MLMs on Facebook Marketplace. They're trying to do whatever, because this is why, another reason why people join a lot of Facebook groups, and then when they post, it jumps all in, it throws them all in the.
I saw that. I did that as well.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful with that, because again, Facebook recognizes that as a post. So if you're in 100 buy-sell network groups or whatever you want to call them, and you're trying to sell your home business or your MLM or whatever, and you're posting, oh yeah, I'm selling this CBD, right? Again, and it goes as that, and that one post goes through every single group. Now all of a sudden, when you post on your personal page, you're gonna get blocked, or you're gonna get, or maybe you're getting reported, and it's a big mess, and you're gonna have problems.
I found when I did it, because I only did it the one time. I did the post, and all the other ones were rejected. Only one post actually stayed live.
Oh wow!
So yeah, all the other posts, because they were just all duplicates, as you know. Only one of them stayed live. All the other ones, they just said rejected.
Yeah, and the reject.
I didn't go to jail though.
Yeah, the more rejections, the more like this doesn't. You're gonna have problems. So that's
no. You definitely will go to jail, but luckily that time I didn't.
Yeah,
I've been in jail many times.
That's why we started BSN, because as we grew business sales and networking, is because I understood that there's people out there. Maybe we have to go back to that message again. Maybe we need to start teaching people that message.
On the groups?
Get out of the, don't go to Facebook jail, because a lot of people Facebook is really changing, making it easier for business owners. They want you to, they're dominating it all. So
but they want their money. That's what you need to understand. If you're paying Mark and you're paying his machine, you're going to be in a better position. You're going to get shown more. You're going to actually engage the Facebook machine and enable it to work for you. Mm-hmm. It's an animal. You got to tame that animal and know what your audience is, what your targeting objectives are. Make sure you have your copy right, nice images or video. I mean, there's a whole lot more to it. But if you start putting those dollars into that machine, that's where you're going to get your greatest result. People say, well, I don't have a lot of money to get started. Man, you can run ads for $1, $2 a day. Really start doing those things and start practicing and split testing. I don't really split test. I don't ever want to promote myself and saying I'm doing things that I'm not. You know what I mean? So it's important for me to say that. That's something that I need to do better is split testing. But I always, in my mind, always try and say things that I wish I would have done better from the beginning. You know what I mean? So I had a great conversation. I was telling you at the beginning with Willow this morning. Excuse me, the conversation was yesterday. We were talking about identifying the right audience. So again, starting at the beginning, get that machine going, identify your audience, and put a couple dollars into the game and see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens, and see, and run it as engagement and see what kind of how people respond to it, and see what's going on.
Totally, then adjust your message accordingly.
Yeah, and building your audience. That's the one thing that's taken me a while, is building your audience, and it takes time, right? You just and we're still working on it. That's the whole idea. So so where we can share a message, Matt, and then and that's how Matt came here, and Matt's helping, we're helping each other, and this is the story, right? This is the beginning, this is the beginning of the story. So
and it's been good so far, man. We enjoyed it. I just actually put a post in the group this morning. I know you saw it, the one for the ISL network in Espanol with the Latino business network here in Vegas.
Yeah.
My wife, I'm pushing my wife. I'm being very pushy with her, very pushy. She can hear me. That's why I'm saying it, because I'm really encouraging her to get out there and tell her story, to tell where she's at from the beginning, tell her the bumps and the bruises and the successes and the learning. That's where I think the group's going to get the most value. And I think that's where she's going to get the most value and the most experience, practice in.
Sure. Maybe I'll go do a live video and then I'll do one in Spanish.
Do it.
Practice. And here's the thing, here's the thing I've learned is, especially in martial arts, you have a real strong side. And my strong side right now is my right leg, because I have my knee hurts, right? I'm having knee surgery at the end of the month. So I'm really dominating with my right leg. I'm always on my right leg forward. But on left leg forward, it's weak, it's wobbly. So sometimes I have to take it back a little bit, go slow and lightly. And that's just kind of how I'm at. That's my Spanish, right? Not also that I don't speak Spanish every day. I do speak Spanish, but get in front of the camera, trying to put a message out, trying to communicate, and maybe that's going to be very wobbly.
You got Ben challenged. Ben is challenged right now. Boom.
Yeah, I'll have to think about what I'm going to say and then put it out there, and then I'll just make it. And again, I'll probably have to start all over, like how I started with the live videos. Again, it's the 7-day challenge, right? Do it really lightly, introduce myself. That's all I have to worry about, and not really tell people a whole 30-minute video. It's just 3 minutes. Just go on there and say hi.
There you go.
Me gusta chocolate.
I told my wife, I said I was going to ask Ariel to challenge her with that thing. She goes, "You better not." I live with her, so
we have Gustavo too. He's fluent in Spanish.
You know what? Since it was in Vegas, I figured he may want to do Florida, so I didn't. Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, we still got him. Florida will take. We still have to. What I'd love to do is when we build this group to a certain level, then we'll start feeding people Florida, and I'd love to build Florida up, because Florida is a great Spanish-speaking,
right.
a lot of Spanish speakers out there. And who'd like to go I'd like to go visit Florida. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice little vacation.
Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Daytona, Tampa, all kinds of places.
I've never been there.
I've been all over at different points in my life. My family, my dad lived down in Pearson for a while, in Daytona. Before they went to Ohio. So my family's got roots in both places, but
I'd love to go.
You won't keep me in Florida for over a weekend, maybe 7 days tops, because the bugs, the humidity, just.
Oh yeah, no.
I love Vegas. Vegas is that's where that's it, done.
Yeah. I don't like to sweat. I don't like to sweat, and I don't like the bugs. Sweat. It's no bueno. I need that. That's I've been in that. I've been to I was in Memphis, Tennessee during the summer.
Yeah, forget about it.
That was rough.
Forget about it. Well, guys, everybody, we've been on here almost an hour.
Yeah, it's good, man. Great conversation. Yeah,
great conversation. Yeah. Remember, catch us Monday. We'll be back in the Facebook group. Thank you for joining us. We are a part of the Real Podcast. The Real Podcast Collaborative, Real Disrupt Podcast Collaborative. God, I am struggling today. So if you are looking for some other podcasts, join over there. Take a look, mortgage, real estate, and business. So I'm going to just put that out there so I can cut that and put that into our videos for the future. But thank you all for joining us. I think there's somebody else in here, but they haven't mentioned who's in here. But whoever you are, thank you for joining us this morning. As always, have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday. Ben, do you have any parting thoughts?
Oh man, on Monday Marketing, join us there. If you can find us on Facebook, is Business Sales and Networking with Pros in Las Vegas. This is our headquarters, and we are growing. The group is growing all consistently. We're always great people always joining us, and that's the whole idea of the group, is to find, that's, if there's a mission, I'm still working on our mission, is to find great people to join us in our journey, and we want to join them on their journey also too.
100%.
Still putting that together. I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you again. Happy Friday. Get out there and slay the day, folks. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.